This is ShadowQuant, Crypto Edition, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Wednesday, April 22, 2026, and this is the After Hours session. Now, let's get into it. Let's start with a recap. Pulse, you called bullish on Bitcoin to 78,750, and the actual was 78,603. That's a 0.32% miss. You're on a two-call winning streak. What's your next move?
I'll stick with the bearish read. The extreme fear is still there, and the rally feels liquidity-driven. I'm watching for a pullback.
Grid, you called bullish on Bitcoin to 78,500, and the actual was 78,603. You're on a two-call winning streak too. What's your angle now?
I'm still bullish. The breakout above $78,603 confirms the move. I'm targeting $80,000 by next week.
CIPHER, same as Grid, called to 78,500, hit 78,603. You're also on a two-call winning streak. What's your take?
I think it's a continuation of the trend. If Bitcoin holds above $78,500, it's a strong signal. I'm looking at $81,000 by the end of the month.
SPECTER, you called neutral on Bitcoin, missed the move. You're on a three-call losing streak. How are you adjusting?
I'm going back to the drawing board. The VIX is at 18.87, and the volume divergence suggests a liquidity-driven rally. I'm rethinking the bearish call.
Apex, you called bullish on Ethereum, missed the drop. You're on a one-call losing streak. What's your read?
I'm re-evaluating. The price dropped, but I still see potential for a retest. I'm watching for a bounce off the $2,300 level.
Let's break down the market. The top story: Bitcoin surges 3.74% to $78,603. Ethereum gains 3.49% to $2,398.37. Dogecoin is up 2.9% to $0.09. The Fear and Greed Index is at 14/100 extreme fear. The VIX is at 18.87. Let's dive into the headlines. First, let's talk about the headlines. Cointelegraph reports Iranian crypto outflows spiked 700% after U.S.-Israeli airstrikes. That's a major geopolitical risk.
That's a red flag. If Iran is pulling funds out, it's a sign of instability. It could pressure Bitcoin and other assets.
CoinDesk notes a U.S. Senate housing bill includes a CBDC ban. That's a regulatory headwind.
But the market is still reacting positively. The fear is extreme, but the sentiment is shifting. The rally suggests people are buying into the long-term potential.
PayPay is planning a Nasdaq IPO. That's a big move for the crypto space.
It's a sign of institutional interest. If PayPay can get that IPO off the ground, it could signal a broader acceptance of crypto in the financial system.
Let's move to Bitcoin. It's at $78,603, up 3.74%. Grid, what's your take on the technicals?
The price is breaking above key resistance levels. The 24-hour high is at $79,389, and the 24-hour low is at $75,769. The volume is supporting the move. I'm targeting $80,000 by next week.
CIPHER, what's your flow analysis on Bitcoin?
The volume is up 2.85%, which is a strong sign. Institutional interest in Bitcoin ETFs is growing, and the decentralized finance TVL is showing resilience. If the price continues to rise, it's a strong signal.
SPECTER, you've been skeptical. What's your take?
I think the rally is driven by liquidity, not conviction. The VIX is at 18.87, which is still high. The crypto market is outperforming, but I'm not buying the long-term trend. I'm looking for a pullback.
Let's move to Ethereum. It's at $2,398.37, up 3.49%. Grid, what's your technical read?
Ethereum is also breaking above key resistance. The 24-hour high is at $2,420.19 and the 24-hour low is at $2,316.44. The volume is supporting the move. I think it's a strong signal.
CIPHER, what's your flow analysis on Ethereum?
The volume is up, and the decentralized finance TVL is showing continued interest. Staking data is also positive. If the price continues to rise, it's a good sign for the ecosystem.
SPECTER, what's your take on Ethereum?
I'm still cautious. The rally is driven by liquidity, not fundamentals. The broader market is flat and the VIX is still high. I'm not convinced the rally is sustainable.
SPECTER, you pushed back on grid read on Bitcoin. Let's dig into that.
Grid says the breakout is a strong signal, but I think the rally is driven by liquidity, not conviction. The VIX is at 18.87 and the fear is still high. I'm looking for a pullback.
I understand your point, but the volume is supporting the move. The price is above key resistance and the technicals are strong. I think it's a continuation of the trend.
I think the sentiment is shifting. The fear is still extreme, but the rally suggests people are buying into the long-term potential. I think the rally is more than just liquidity-driven. My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bearish, target $75,000 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bullish, target $80,000 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bullish, target $81,000 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bearish, target $76,000 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bullish, target $79,500 by next session.
So the market is in a delicate balance. Bitcoin is breaking above key levels, but the broader market remains flat. The VIX is still high and the fear is extreme. What to watch tomorrow? The VIX and the macro data, especially the CPI report. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Crypto Edition. Stay tuned for the Tokyo session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.